Correct. Brought to you by us, fans like you, but mostly us.
Don't fight for your king, and don't fight for his kingdoms. Don't fight for honor, don't fight for glory. Don't fight for riches because he won't get any. This is your city Stannis means to sack. That's your gate he's ramming. If he gets in, it will be your houses he burns. Your gold he steals. Your women he will rape. Those are brave men knocking at our door. Let's go kill them!
In a dark corner of the world, three men will work together to bring you a podcast like no other. This is Fanatically Correct, where the fans, the geeks, and the nerds are always correct. With your host, MSK, Yo Peace, and Omega.
Welcome everybody, it's Game of Thrones panel. This is Fanatically Correct. I'm your host Omega.
MSK.
Yo, peace.
And just to get a couple things out of the way, we're going to be talking Game of Thrones today. Alright, we're on Podbean, any pod for Echo and Alexa. You can review us on iTunes and Google Play. Reach us at FanCorrect on Twitter and Instagram. Fanatically Correct on Facebook and fanaticallycorrect.com. Or you can actually email us at contactfancor@gmail.com. For Game of Thrones, first of all, everybody looking forward to waiting another, year for that?
No. I have to survive another year.
Do they have a date yet? Do they have a date?
Summer 2019.
Summer 2019 is basically another year.
Yeah.
Oh my
Another year, yeah.
Yeah.
Right before episode, so it's like late spring.
Episode 9 is Christmas.
I just hope they just release it without even telling us. Just one night, just release it.
You just wake up the next morning, like, Game of Thrones is on.
It'll be like a secret album.
Right,
Yeah.
a secret season. Just,
Episodes just dropped.
And then also the next day, like,
yeah.
yeah.
That would be sweet.
It'd be nice if it's tomorrow.
That would be much better. So let's get into some of our, I guess, highs, lows, favorites, stuff like that. Make it fun. I'm gonna go with favorite, as I was talking about it earlier, so I enjoy that. Favorite battle.
Favorite battle. I'm still gonna go.
Everyone's gonna have the same one.
Everyone's gonna say Battle of the Bastards because it's the most recent. But I'm gonna go Hardhome. Ooh. Ooh.
Okay, let's say why.
It was just too intense, man.
Mine's actually, I don't remember the name of the episode, but it was basically the first big battle scene, the first time they gave a whole episode to just one storyline, which is when they invaded the King's Landing, the Baratheon. Stannis. Yes, thank you. Hands down, Battle of the Bastards. Yes, it's. I mean, it's intense. It was a lot of build up to finally get to that. A lot of storyline went into that, but it's just yeah. Of course. But with that. You know, for the first time they did that, first of all, I mean, that was just threw you off. You're constantly used to seeing jumping around from storyline to storyline, house to house, and it just focused on the one, and it was just so intense, so well done. Everything. I mean, Tyrion became my favorite character, hands down, that episode. I mean, slowly but surely, it was building up. I was really liking it. I was really digging him, and that episode just completely won me over. You love how the Hound handled it. I mean, it showed how dark Cersei was, and she's ready to, kill, her first baby because it's not happening. That's just the episode that worked for me, and just the payoff with the fire, and you don't see that coming, and Tyrion, you think he dies at the end. I mean, it's just excellent.
That's the episode where you actually see the production value actually come up, because the first season and a half, it was just like we're not seeing any fights, any
not to that extent.
To that episode.
Well, they actually try to cheat you in the first season because Tyrion passes out before the huge battle.
Right.
Yes.
And they tell the stories of all the dope shit that happened.
Right, but then we don't see it.
Out, and oh.
Yeah. So in season 2, it looks like they got a lot more budget to do stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Once they saw it, it's going to
Right.
they pump money into that thing.
Yeah, and they just keep going.
I actually really enjoy the battle.
Battle of the Bastards?
No, not the Battle of the Bastards. The battle where the dragons come.
Oh yes, with the White Walkers.
White
Yeah.
Walkers.
No. The battle where they go and
They take the dragon, yeah.
Versus the Walkers.
The Thraki's first fight on
Oh, okay.
Westeros.
Yes,
across the-
when he tries to kill the Jaime tries to kill the dragon.
You have to understand that I watched that episode at work because I hate my job. And I was like, all of a sudden, and I wasn't supposed to be watching it. Like, he needs to watch it. I was watching a bootleg. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, I gotta. And then that thing happened, and I legit got out of my chair and went to my coworker because she watched it. And like, she's burning that.
Well,
I was like, I love when Daenerys burns the fuck out of people. I wish I had dragons. I would set so many people on fire. Like,
and it finally got
there.
there.
Actually, funny story. That's the one that your wife, that we played it for, because we'd all seen it already.
I was cackling.
Yeah, his wife hadn't seen it, so we did the record her while watching it. And what's cool, and everyone had the same feeling while you're watching that battle. It's like, and she says like, I don't know who to root for. Like, she's getting so intense. Like, no, yes, no. Like, you don't know. Like, you don't want at this.
The dragon.
Yeah.
But then you see Braun, and you're like, oh, I don't want Braun to die.
Because now you're like Jamie Lannister's now won us over.
When it's your time, it's your time, man. That's how I felt about the situation. Like, it's your time, the dragon.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think Hard Home was the best.
That's I guess you just walked in. That's what he went with.
Yeah. And you finally see like the White Walkers like actually take charge.
Yeah.
And, like,
when he was standing at the end of the pier, he's like, and what?
And what? Yeah, exactly. He was just trying to, and Jon Snow's.
No, even worse. I mean, he makes everyone that they just killed rise up and like just it really steps up the game.
Like you can't do anything.
No, it's also such a great moment because everyone's been was really kind of disrespectful of the Wildlings. They're like, look, y'all haven't seen shit. Y'all don't know shit.
Yeah,
know shit.
It's true.
Yeah, and they're like, all right, the Wildlings got a point.
He's like, whatever, you guys, okay, I believe you. But then he really sees what's going on, and that's the moment that Jon Snow's like, he shit himself. He's like, fuck, we're up against a lot.
Against this,
bad situation.
And then the board, they're scuttling like cockroaches. Like, it's so creepy. All the
yeah. Well, for Jon Snow, that was his moment of, oh shit, White Walkers are for real. Where Daenerys is, which in all the audiences, oh shit, White Walkers for real, is when the dragon gets speared.
Yeah.
But then and they're like, hey, that one flag, like that meme that says that one they're flying, hold my beer, and they, and I love. Okay, I hope none of you in this room are, and if it is, oh fucking well. People that start questioning and worrying about the reality and how realistic, like, how can he throw a harpoon so far? How are ravens flying so fast? Like, I don't know what the speed of a raven in Westeros is. It's a fictional world.
I heard an interesting thing about this because we're living in somebody I listen to online all the time. He's saying this is the age of the no escapism because people are always trying to tax like if it's too alien, it's like, oh no that can't. He can't throw a spear that far at a dragon.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Zombie can't throw the spear.
Oh yeah. We'll all throw 120 million to watch Vin Diesel jump buildings with his sports car.
Yeah, I said it. Common Core.
Common Core.
I will say this: I don't support the criticism that because some people are like, oh no, it totally took me out of it. I can't enjoy it anymore. Like,
that's insane.
Enjoy it.
Relax.
But I do understand the criticism of what's kind of happened is now that they're not relying on R. Martin's books. They're writing so frantically because they have to get to this endpoint. They finally got these characters together in every sense of the word. They finally moving to that final end game. That I do think that there were certain things in this season that were just kind of like fades black.
Yeah, yada yada.
Like,
yeah.
But here we are.
It was a big yada yada season.
Well, they also had like a shorter season, so they kind of have to like.
Yeah. Well, and,
she's right. So easy to do that.
Yeah.
She's right. As they've gotten away from the books, let the TV writers get a hold of it, and they're fucking idiots.
Yeah. They're speeding it up.
They're speeding it up.
Because that's what TV writers do. They just.
But what they've done, anybody here actually read the books?
No.
We have one. Okay. Because what I've heard a lot about the books though with the show is that the show cuts out a lot of fat. Yeah. That he's very elongating in his writing and like
they merge a couple of characters
and they merge characters because there's and that's what I heard. That there's too many. But then I hear things like, for example, the way the Hound in the book originally supposedly died was an infection, which they did hint at. In the books, him and Brianna never fought, which that was a great scene.
That was a great scene.
It is kind of the struggle of the translation between visual and print media. In the print media, the author is in control of the world. And yes, authors can listen to their fans, but for the most part, the author has an idea of the story. TV is so immediate because you watch it on Sunday, you're tweeting up, you're live tweeting it, you're putting it out there. Everyone's memed it by 11:05.
Yeah. Well,
and so it's just it is.
Yeah. See, but and it's like
and you get all the criticism so fast.
Yeah. But that's the whole thing also in.
7 more episodes.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. Also with TV, especially HBO, and that's what they fight a lot. You have, your fan base has like favorite characters, and as you know, and certain ones they have to kill off no matter what. But then there's the treatment of characters, like, and that's another thing I heard. Like Tyrion, for example, in the wedding scene. It's not even close to how degraded he is in the books. Like it goes beyond that, but because when they're writing that now for TV, they know this is a fan favorite, maybe the fan favorite. We can't go too far; we'll lose the audience, and they're gonna be pissed and twittering and Instagramming and pitching a bitch. So there's that aspect of the show that the writers they have to face that when they're writing and be concerned. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. He's still watching that, and I don't understand why.
Yeah. But okay, between the three of us, I get this out of the way so everyone knows. If you listen to the podcast, which we're gonna give our cards at the end, please listen, review us. Yeah, that's something they check out of shows with no problem. I have a hard time when I get hooked, specifically with superhero shows. Yeah, I'm the same way. Especially superhero shows.
Why?
There's not.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I don't. If I get hooked.
I had to learn. I still appreciate in my youth, but I
yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah. I have to put up with life. I don't have extra time to watch shows.
I walked out of Crow 2, and that movie was fucking complete trash.
That was horrible.
Wait. Crow 2. Don't you have a story about Crow 2?
How many times am I going to tell this story? Okay, no. He had something. Before I get to that, he had something.
But you see Crow 2.
Hold on. I want to see.
If you really want to know, like, again, the idea of cinema versus the book, one day I did a little, like, mental experiment where I played the audio of American Psycho next to the scene with Patrick Bateman and doing it in the house, and he was still talking about all the damn little intricate, because the writer mentions every little thing.
They have to.
Yeah.
The tape, everything else, but no, this writer, I forgot the name of who was the author of American Psycho?
No clue. No.
Either way, every little, because they're obsessed with intricate. Specifically, they were talking about the sheen on the marble table, blah 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 blah. He already killed.
Yeah.
It's already done.
Excessive.
Well, I hear that's the problem with Game of Thrones. That the actual book. I think it was.
It's elongated. It gets mother-in-law.
Yeah, your mother-in-law said that.
That's the good thing of it. Yeah. Because it was world being.
That's what fantasy readers want.
You
don't want to spend time, like listening to how do the characters drink tea, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But, like someone else is like, why the fuck do I care about this?
Yeah.
If you're into a story, you're like, man, I want to know everything.
Yeah. In fairness, I mean, just an example, but Game of Thrones is the main example. But also, even like Harry Potter, you see that the books get bigger and bigger as they go. And the good thing that which Game of Thrones has done, and now we're saying they're rushing to figure it out, is because with that, maybe it's boring as a read, but it helps to transfer it to film, whether it's TV or movies, because they have all this detail to, not pull the DC and piss off the fans, but actually do it the way the fans want it, give them what they're looking for. Because, in fairness, most readers and most fanships of stories, they do want to see what they read on the big screen.
Yeah, but at this point in the last season of Game of Thrones, we have so much momentum going. You can't stop to have a filler episode about how Jon Snow likes to comb his fucking hair.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I would. It's pretty luxurious. How's he do it? Now that you brought it up.
But yeah, but seriously, it's gotta.
It has to flow. Yeah, it has to keep. What about you? What is your number one battle?
Should be generic,
We actually started with battle scenes. That was what was your?
Yeah. No, it's definitely gonna be Battle of
the Bastards.
The Bastards.
Yeah. That's so. Okay, my only complaint with Battle of the Bastards is why didn't he zigzag or tell him to stop? So which started it all off. It's like and it wasn't lazy writing. It was good because it's the same. They're not thinking at the moment, and they're thinking with the heart. He's nervous. He's scared. Yeah, he's just running.
I disagree though.
Are you becoming that guy?
Yeah.
See, because
zigzagging is
but
not
even
a thing
zigzag. Because even then
zigzag. Did you see that special on 60 Minutes where if you zigzag, you won't get shot?
Look.
Yeah. No. Doesn't exist in Westeros.
Exactly.
No, but even then, if you eventually form a pattern in a good archer, what makes more sense is that because Snow, but it
doesn't even do it.
It's because you don't want him to die. You don't want him to die, but when you think about it, it makes sense. While he's riding towards him, he's seeing when he's releasing the arrow. he's timing him. It would be easy for him to say stop. Once he sees the arrow release, stop, because he's timing when it's going to land.
Listen.
So now if he stops, it's going to go over him. And now run.
In Apocalypto, the guy's zigzagging and still got hit.
He still got hit.
Apocalypto! What?
Right? Am I right?
Who's seen Eastbound and Down? Who here?
Zigzagging all the way.
Who here has seen Eastbound and Down? The show Eastbound and Down when he said Apocalypto.
Zigzagging
It's
is
so
not a
true.
thing. It's not a
He
thing.
doesn't know what we're talking about.
I have no idea.
Seen
He has no
Apocalypto.
idea.
Still hasn't seen Apocalypto.
I haven't seen it.
People would have loved it if he zigzagged.
Yeah.
That would have excited
Yeah.
me
It was like,
more.
oh, you're
Give him a
zigzagging.
challenge.
Okay.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I think, was anybody actually nervous that Jon Snow was going to die in that battle?
No.
Because it would have been too soon, right? Like, I was like completely confident, like, okay, something's gonna give because there's no way they bring him back this season. Well, I think that was gonna happen.
He could have lost some limbs.
You segue into a good point about the fact that that's maybe another problem when people watch a show is that you know there are certain characters that
That's
are
the
just
safe.
gonna die tomorrow.
No, but you
I don't know. They don't exactly. Yeah, it gets close. I'll tell you now. I'm sure everyone lost in the Red Wedding. I mean, unless it was ruined for everyone. I literally, I've never done that while watching TV.
He was like the most.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
But the
Which
Red Wedding was the first. I think for a lot of people, they're not used to seeing that on television.
it was so many.
No, I think it was Ned.
You know what it is? Yeah,
It was
Ned,
Ned.
Ned Stark was.
Ned Stark started it
Half
all.
the cast
Yeah.
was gone.
It was
Right,
Ned.
right.
Wait, what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All these people are collecting unemployment checks tomorrow.
Yeah, Ned Stark started all that made you realize, wow, this show
Yeah.
Doesn't care.
is no
Doesn't
joke.
care.
They don't care.
It's no joke. And then you start flashing back right away to the scene with when they get the wolf cubs. You're like, wait a minute, this show ain't about him. It's about his family.
Yeah.
Then as we start to go, like, no, it's not. It's about everybody. It's everyone. Exactly.
They first introduced the White Walkers in the Night's Watch.
Yeah.
And then they introduced Brandon Stark and Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even Robb Stark has less speaking lines, and then Arya's running around the fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Winterfell.
Yeah.
Whatever they call it.
That's what we're
Yeah.
waiting for. Wedding.
Go.
He just crossed his leg at you. I let you know. He's into it.
Battle of the Wall.
Yes. Yes.
That one was great.
Against the wildlings.
The people that eat crow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wildlings.
that was
Yeah.
good.
Venus or something. And,
Yeah.
I made
That was good.
That's a good one, man.
That was good. That's the one with the giant, right? Where the giant comes to the cave.
Bald dude and Jon Snow fucking gets a hammer through his head.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
like they fight and like Jon Snow grabs his hammer and like fucking smashes it through his head. And you're like, holy shit! And Jon
Yeah.
Snow's old lady gets killed.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't really like it that much.
They finally let the wolf out.
There's a lot of continuing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of continuous like shots in that scene. It's like a
Yeah.
long.
It's
and-
good.
Yeah.
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 Giant, they
The giant through the cave. That's nice.
giant.
And what's kind of amazing about that battle is that we've seen the ice zombies and we've seen dragons, but yet for some reason when giants kind of came out, like, man, this
Yeah.
shit is huge.
It's
Yep.
just,
Yeah.
it's,
Like, there's so
Yeah.
much going on.
Yeah.
in
It's
this.
that,
Well,
how
number
about you
one
put some
fear-
weapons for that
yeah.
guy. You
That's-
know,
that's-
It
that's
goes
the
like
scary
this.
thing.
And that's the thing. Number one
Yeah.
fear, and then they did it
Yeah.
was this shit becomes a walker, and then they did it. Oh, and then
Every
like,
time you see a new creature that could become
1-1.
an ice zombie,
Yep.
like, man, you guys are just more.
yeah, you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why even bring him? Don't even bring him into the
Yeah.
battle.
No.
bring
You
him.
sit over there. You sit over there.
Don't bring him.
Yeah.
So I wanted to mention that, but also when we talked about Blackwater Bay, that was the first time that they showed fear in the Hound.
yes,
Yeah, because he saw
because
the
of the fire.
So,
Yeah.
like, Frank is like, fire, rah.
Yeah.
Fire! Ah!
You said like you were talking about like things not being believable and people that's being ridiculous. Well, dragons aren't real. There's no fucking way Brianna Tarth beats the fucking Hound in a fucking fight.
No.
That's like taking.
No, he had an infection. He was sick. He was weak.
He was beat up, man. He was
Yeah.
almost
This
dead.
is the way I look at it. This is
No,
the way
but
I look
also
at it.
he was weakened as
Just
well.
to take like the meanest dude in all the prisons of the United States,
Yeah.
and then put him against the meanest chick in all the prisons of the
Yeah.
United States. He's gonna eat your fucking babies. He's
Yeah.
a fucking destroyer.
Yeah, I agree with you, but he is sick.
Yeah. And in fairness, in this world, the element of surprise that
You,
Brianna
sir,
has.
are becoming that guy.
He's not becoming. Yeah, he's not becoming that guy.
And what I like about the battles in Game of Thrones is that sometimes they really kind of throw you that you think someone has the
Yep.
upper hand and they don't. It can happen in a bad day.
Exactly.
Yes, he may be big and scary and on, but he is still a human
'Cause-
being, and all
yeah.
he needs is a bad day. Look at the
Yeah.
fight
He's a
between
human being, he
the
saw some
Sam.
shit.
Look at the fight between you know.
It's not a
Yeah.
whoop my ass.
No. Yeah. Because he Indigo Montoya. He's Indigo Montoya.
Think about
And
it.
everyone's thinking the same thing. Stop talking and finish this guy.
Killed my family, pretty much, and then he's just like,
Because they take that hero trope of,
Yep.
now I'm explaining to you why I'm killing you, and
Yeah.
they say, fuck that shit,
Yep.
just stab someone in the eye if you want
Yep.
to end
He
it,
monologued.
end them.
Yeah.
He monologued.
That's the James Bond fucking.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want
Tyrion's
to
like, "Don't
Brienne
monologue."
Tarth from you, okay? Because
She fought a bear.
in the books, okay. She is from she's part of the House Dane like sub houses, and all of the Danes are known for being the best fucking swordsmen. They have the sword of the morning that freaking Ned Stark beat. She, as a chick training down there in that place, she's always had to fight from a position of being weaker than people and had to earn her way up amongst the best of the best. The reason why the Hound even got her so good, even though he was injured, is because the Hound isn't like her. She's not honorable.
That's what it is.
And
yeah.
she started off trying to be honorable because she saw that he was injured. And then she realized, this guy is gonna rip and like bite
That's
my
honestly a
throat
lot of
out.
what
Yeah.
Brienne's problem
He
is.
doesn't go
That's a
fuck.
great fight scene.
Yeah.
That is a great fight scene. That's one of the better one-on-one fight scenes. Huh? You crazy? That's an awesome fight scene.
That's a lesson that Brienne learns because Brienne is an honorable
Okay,
fighter.
you know what? Let's go. One-on-one. Okay, one-on-one combat scenes. You go first, since that one's nonsense to you. What is your one-on-one combat scene that you think is your favorite? No. In Game of Thrones. It's a Game of Thrones panel, man. Throw us a bone here, man.
In cult classic.
In Game of Thrones doesn't have great sword fighting scenes. It has things that happen that you would never expect to fucking happen. Like she says with the Viper. You don't expect him to just sweep the dude's legs out and smack. It's like, holy shit.
The grapefruit. Like grapefruit.
What I think is more fucked up about that is the idea that, like, they show you how long it took him to crack Oberyn's skull open. Like,
Yeah.
it's a good, maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's like a head in the
It's
vice.
so slow, man. It's like a
Ever
slow
seen
burn.
Casino? The head in the vice, slowly eye popping out.
It's like that scene in Saving Private Ryan. Remember when the guy gets stabbed?
That's man.
It's like, no.
Trust me, that's a topic we want to do. Just most intense fight scenes in general.
I want to fucking die.
Oh, up them, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know, but that scene is it's excruciating to watch, man.
Tell me what you said.
And
But once you have the timing of
and he's just slowly putting it in.
skull,
Yeah.
imagine the timing when he popped little baby's skull.
Oh
Like,
man,
people
the
children
mountain.
disappeared in seconds.
Okay, I gotta say, who do you think does in the mountain finally? Do you think it's gonna be the Hound?
It has to be.
Yeah,
The Hound is a
The way it's the
Not Arya.
Bless you, because nobody
You don't
said
think
it. I got it.
you don't think
I got
Arya?
you.
You don't think Arya's gonna get thrown in there?
Oh, you did? Oh, he got you too.
It
But
actually has a name on like the Game Bowl.
oh,
Game Bowl.
The question:
You know what it is?
no, you're totally right.
Who's
It
gonna
has to
take?
be
Who do you
that.
think is gonna take care of?
It depends on whether they take care of who.
what?
The mountain.
The
Mountain.
Take out the Hound.
The mountain.
Who
Because
take
now
care-
that the mountain's the way he
Who would
is,
take care of
who's
the
gonna take
mountain?
him out? He's gonna die
Who's
before
gonna do it?
the series ends. Yeah, he's gonna die again.
No, I think
No,
I think they might go. I think it actually might be like a tag team situation where it's like Arya and the Hound.
It might be
Whoa,
possible
that'd be
because,
dope.
but you know what it is? I think it would be cool. I mean, obviously the writers have kind of set it up so that they kind of have to do this maybe fan service type thing where they have to watch these two guys
Oh, they
fight.
definitely
Yeah.
But at the same time, it would be kind of cool if they did like how the Viper at least subverted it
Yes.
somehow. You know what I mean? And he didn't need to give the final blow, and he didn't. And it would be
It's gonna be
interesting
Tyrion.
if Arya or
Arya Stark. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Tyrion.
Exactly. And she hasn't gotten to kill a lot of people on her
It's gonna be a
list.
dragon. It's gonna be
Like
Tyrion.
the big guns on her list, you know.
Biggest,
Natural death.
biggest to the smallest.
Oh, and I'll tell you right now, I would lose my shit for Arya if she helps the Hound kill the Mountain and then she finishes off the Hound because he's on her damn list, and I'll be like,
Oh yeah,
that would be so cool to see. Like,
He's
nice.
the last on the list.
Exactly.
He's the last one.
No, Cersei's on that list too.
No,
Yes.
but I'm saying he'll be the last on the
He'll be
list.
the last, and-
All right, so who's gonna get Cersei? Who's gonna get
I
Cersei
want
then?
Arya to kill Cersei.
Jamie.
I think it's gonna be Jamie.
I think it's
it's
Jamie
gonna be
too.
Jamie.
Definitely.
I think that
There
one
was-
hand.
there was a lot
I think
of
that
kids
one
saying
hand's
that's
gonna
gonna
get
be
some
Jamie.
throat in there.
I think Jamie is too on the money, and in the books there's the FanCor prophecy, which says that she's gonna die by the little brother.
Yeah.
So that technically it could
Tyrion.
be
Tyrion.
No,
Yeah,
no, no,
Tyrion.
it's
Arya could use their
non-sexual.
face.
It's younger sibling.
Younger
it's
sibling.
non-sexual.
Okay,
Yeah,
non-sexual.
because it could be Arya Stark. That sets it open for Arya Stark.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because she's on the list, and the reason it's
Yeah.
not
And she's the
fucking
younger,
Jamie.
and the original prophecy is the younger
You know what would be
woman.
great?
It will
is if
not be
like
Jamie.
Cersei escapes or she thinks she escapes and then Arya finds her. Sorry.
No, it's quite alright. But it won't be Jamie because Jamie's going to lead the armies.
Yeah.
He's the greatest general in
I,
Westeros.
Yeah.
I think it's,
And
she's
so
actually
he's going to take an
pregnant.
administrative role.
No, she. I think she faked it. I don't think
What
she
if
is.
she's actually pregnant and Jamie's like, malformed last.
Yeah, that was a manipulation.
Takes him out.
That was a manipulation. I don't think she's pregnant. Yeah.
Like that.
Well, I don't think they showed that, but I think
I
she
thought she
lied.
lied.
I think she just
lied.
manipulating him.
I don't know. I mean, she
They
could
left it
have
open.
lied.
They left
They
it
did
open.
leave it
And
open.
I've been reading the plot episodes for season 8.
Yeah.
Shitty website.
The leak?
I don't know.
This is
I did read through it.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you go.
Well, I was
This is,
getting worried.
Are you on Reddit?
Yeah, I was getting worried because
Yeah, it was all like I was on some.
here's the thing with Game of
Yeah.
Thrones, you never really know.
Whoa.
So I was with Game of Thrones, you never really know. So I was actually a little worried that Jamie wasn't gonna make it out of last season because after Tyrion got to walk out of that room from the mountain and being threatened, and then they did it again with Jamie. Like, okay, they usually don't get this redundant on this show. Like, is he about to get killed by the freaking Hound? Like right now, like.
Well, you asked me the best fight scene in Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Yes.
It has to be Jon Snow and the Fen.
Jon Snow and
And the Fen. And
Fen,
the
the
one
Fen.
that I was talking about.
oh yeah, when he throws the axe,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's great.
It's not. They fight swordplay. The Fen's got an axe.
Yeah.
It's under the backdrop of a siege of a castle. I remember that. And the Fen is the giant.
The ball, dude. That they eat people.
Okay.
That they
Yeah.
they eat the.
I got you. I thought that was just very, very, very well done. Because you really think he's got Jon Snow, and then something just like accidentally happens, and Jon gets the upper hand and kills him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't have like. It's not like.
Yeah, they don't have sword fight. Like
They
you
really
know,
don't.
sword fight.
They
Yeah.
really don't.
Yeah.
Well, they
It's just
do.
war,
They
like
do
war
in the
stuff.
middle of battles. Like, there's not a
Yeah,
whole
but it's
lot of
like-
one-on-one. I mean, actually, I really like the flashback with when Bran Stark. Is it Bran? The
Bran.
time traveler? asshole?
Bran.
Yeah, Bran, the Raven. When he travels back to see what really happened. When his father
Oh, see, that was
and they
good.
fight, and
Yeah.
it's a bit of a
That was
which
easy.
to me, hey, you're in the middle of a fight. If he stands on the back, fuck him. I mean, you know what I mean. I understand to say because it's chivalry and it's nice, and it is messed up because they told the story differently. And I think if you own it from the get go, that shouldn't be a shock. It's like, yeah, we're in the middle of we need to get into that shit. You're trying to block that shit. If you happen to trip over a rock and my buddy stabs you in the back, then that's how it goes, you know. But because of the chivalry there, and they use it like his honors, like it was impacting to Bran. Like, oh, wow, like and his world just changed. And I guess maybe because they're trying to rush things from the book, that they're trying to make it like, well, that's how he'll now believe that his father is a liar, even if it's for a good reason, but he is a liar, and they need to get to that because how is he gonna figure out that Jon Snow is actually the son of his sister, not some hooker? Yeah. See, unfortunately, that was always kind of a big fan theory that everyone got right away that Jon Snow was going to be most likely half Targaryen once they started hinting about the mother who fell in love with Rhaegar. Because it didn't make sense that such an honorable guy, Ned Stark, this chivalrous,
Would take in
well-known man,
yeah.
would take, have an extramarital affair, have a bastard child, bring it back, make his wife raise it. Is it for the audience? Like we know there's something up about Jon Snow's storyline, and once they started hinting at it, everyone jumped in it right away.
That was one thing where I never would buy that either him or fucking Daenerys is gonna die. And it's only from the fucking.
I think Daenerys is more on the chopping block.
Well, there's your fucking fire.
Yeah.
So no matter what, those two, I feel.
Well, no. The problem
Well, I
is
think the kid is gonna
this
be
is
the
what's
fire and
this is
ice.
what's scarier. Even then, right now, Jon Snow is fire and ice himself. So Daenerys can be on the chopping block.
And that, I didn't look at it like
Yeah,
that. I always look
and
at it
and the
as-
theory that I've heard, which makes sense because they're really hitting at it this season, is because Sam is now becoming a Meister, and he's over there, and he even says in the book, and he goes, oh, the life of Baratheon, of Son of Baratheon or whatever. He goes, it's not very poetic. You figure it'd have a better title, and the theory, and it makes sense, is that A Tale of Fire and Ice is Sam writing about Jon Snow, who's gonna end up being the one on the throne. Exactly. And if that's the case, and that means Daenerys is probably gonna be very heroic. And the sad thing is, as awesome as Daenerys is, and as much of a fan favorite she is, Jon Snow is a better ruler because he doesn't want to be.
Jon Snow is the legitimate ruler.
Exactly.
The legitimate eldest son
of the Targaryens. Of the Targaryens.
Firstborn child.
Yep.
So the throne would have never.
It technically is his. Exactly.
With his father dying, the throne would have never gone.
So it's rightfully his, and again, he does, and I love this. There was that line in that there was that line in that one episode when he says it to her. She goes, "Oh well, men always love what they're good at." And they were talking about killing and fighting. He goes, I don't. He does. He's good at it. He's a great swordsman. He's a great general. But he doesn't love it. He does it because he has to. Yeah. And they're really building on it. He doesn't have the cockiness Daenerys has. Daenerys is very wrathful. She has a lot of bad qualities as the head ruler, and that's why she needs a Tyrion to balance her, and she needs, her counsel to balance her. Where Jon Snow he actually needs counsel to make him more hardcore. Right, yeah, to make him more vicious and more rageful, because he's actually too pulled back and too honorable, a lot like his father.
If he die off, then that means better for everyone.
Unfortunately, yeah. Yep.
He fucking lives the gospel of his father. Like,
yes, exactly. That's his uncle, but the man who raised him.
But he lives that to a T more than anything else. And it seems that that's the more important thing to him than fucking staying alive. As long as he lived a life that fucking Ned respected or fucking
then he's fine with
exactly.
He is happy with it, which means fucking being in charge, henceforth him leaving Castle Black.
Everything.
He didn't care because it was the right thing. I know I made an oath, and I can't go back on that.
Right.
However, this is what needs to be fucking done.
Yep.
I have to do this otherwise, and he stuck to it.
Exactly.
Of being for it or against it.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry to interrupt, but his father never. No, I'm not. Anybody else? So Ned Stark didn't walk the walk. That's why he died.
Yeah.
Because so when he died,
he didn't walk the walk. He walked his own walk.
He didn't walk the walk.
He had that pride.
He didn't live up to it. He didn't live up to the honor. So the reason when he died, I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Normally, when you have a story, you have to do something to get killed.
Yeah.
There's some metaphor. There's some symbolism going on. And then when you find out that he allows Baratheon to overthrow the throne on false pretenses, knowing, because he knows fucking well that his sister was not kidnapped, that she willfully absconded with the Targaryen.
With Rhaegon.
And that's why he has to fucking die. That's why he has, because he's not.
He's not the hero. Yeah. He's not the hero. He's not the hero of the tale.
And
it's pretty impressive because from what I've read, which I hope it's true, and that's why they're kind of rushing to the end, is that Martin has told them who's on the throne, and like the specific end. In other words, he hasn't written how it's all gonna happen, and all the meat and potatoes in between that. So that's probably what's gonna be different between the show and the book. But this is where it's gonna end. So since they know that, they've been hinting more and more. And it's been leading towards Jon Snow being the hero, and it makes complete sense. Other than, which is a lot of theories of that, and it works, of Tyrion also possibly being half Targaryen.
Man, that would be great.
I would lose it if the Tyrion is half Targaryen. I would love that because the thing is because HBO keeps pushing
because that is.
Yeah, but they keep telling the tale, and the thing is, there's a lot of dialogue. They usually don't say things for no reason, and they keep showing all the moments where, and that's the only thing that's missing because the book apparently says, and that's why this theory started, but the show hasn't mentioned it yet. Exactly, but the book mentioned, which if the show mentions it, then it's a game changer. Which is that apparently the Mad King was infatuated with Tywin Lannister's wife, which is Tyrion's mother, and that it would make sense that Tywin would not let that get out that the king took his wife and impregnated her.
He also couldn't
exactly because of not that they know it's on his kid. So when he says to him every time, "You are not my son,"
he means it.
He means it. He's not just saying you're not my son to hurt your feelings. Like you're not my son. I can deal with this shit, and you're not even mine.
He's like, "You are my son."
No, he only does that to try to save his life. That's when he was taking a shit. He was gonna say whatever had to be said, except for not call a whore because that's what cost him his life. That's the one thing he could call him whatever he wanted, but he couldn't not call her a whore.
That's
He
funny.
could bite his tongue on that.
Do we all think it's gonna end in a happy ending, or
It's Game of Thrones.
Well, because you're saying Jon Snow is gonna win, but like,
yeah, but under what situation?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say your happy ending.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think everyone's gonna die.
No, I think it still leads to he ends up being on the throne.
Yeah, I think everyone's gonna die, and Jon Snow.
I think he ends up being on the throne, but his son.
There's no.
No, his son with Daenerys. Like, I think Daenerys dies during childbirth.
Right.
And
that's
he's
the
gonna end him on the throne. But the world is somewhat kind of fucked with White Walkers or anything, and they will hint at that his son will be the one to fix it up.
Right. That's.
But end it because they can always go back later on and do sequels. Because what they're gonna do now, the spin-offs are gonna be prequels, thousands of years before.
Which is a smart thing, because.
But now, if they want to come back 3 seasons later and do a sequel 100 years later, then they tell the story of Jon Snow's son that finally cleaned up all the White Walkers and everything like that.
Pushing it out that far, you
Yeah.
really have fucking leniency.
Exactly.
The story until the fucking story.
I mean, there's a lot of great shows that end bad.
HBO is.
I don't think this one they're gonna screw up.
I mean,
I think this one
they
they'll
got their hits and miss.
They do. I'm honest. I always say I think Sopranos was a horrible ending.
Yeah, Sopranos sucked.
With Dexter's Showtime, so I can't go there.
Yeah, Dexter's
No.
The ending was horrible. Yeah, the series overall was mostly good.
I'm very still indifferent. I fucking didn't like it.
Oh.
I don't fucking hate it, but I'm like, I understand you're trying to be like, you decide. So do they live on? Do they? It's kind of like in a lock.
But it's not that type of show where you're supposed to decide that.
That's where Game of Thrones has the advantage. Is Game of Thrones already jumped into the world of television where, your favorite character is gonna die. It works. Where Sopranos, whenever they kill the main character, they took the whole season. Like, we're gonna take this guy, make him the piece of shit. So by the season finale, when we kill him, you're like, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm fine with that.
Game of Thrones episode 3.
What? Like, shit. I just started liking that guy. What the? You know, it's like, and they do it a lot.
Changed it with characters when they decided to say, go fuck yourself, and we're gonna kill Ned right off the rip.
Yeah. See, and then the problem is, and then when writing gets lazy, which fortunately so far Game of Thrones hasn't gotten lazy, but like Walking Dead, they had that impact for a while, but you're starting to not care anymore. No, I'm just giving the examples of why Game of Thrones is more elevated. Is that you start to not care anymore? It's like, I don't care. Like,
I disagree. I think they have waded into the territory where they say, okay, we know we want to do something cool in this episode, but we have no idea how to fucking make it work. And we just need to throw something together. The whole, let's send 8 people north of the wall to find
that
fucking white.
That bothered me.
I love the quest story. I love Excalibur. I love those films where you go out and you find, like, you go on a quest and you get like
that's what it was, a quest episode. I enjoyed it. I love that episode.
Right.
You know, you get like 8 people together and they all go on this journey to recover some artifact or something of value, and that'll change the tide of war. Why not make it an actual artifact? Why make it a fucking white? And the way they did it, it just seems so.
That could be like a whole season in itself. That whole journey.
That quest.
Yeah, exactly. And it just seemed like the way they did it, and like everybody's like, well, everything happened so fast.
Yeah.
You know,
and it did.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, and what just pisses me off, and I think it pisses everyone off when they come like, because of budget. Like, they got budget. They got plenty of budget. They could have made that a 14-episode season, and everyone wouldn't have had a problem if that was a 3-episode arc. If that was a 3-episode arc, all the shit that people talked about, it happened too fast. How fast is a dragon? How fast? If they hadn't crammed it on to 1 episode and made that a 3-episode arc, I think it would have made more sense. It would have made the season a lot better. And even if, because I understand only 1 episode would have been the climax, which is when she got there with the dragons and all that happened, and then in the next episode we could find out, everyone knows that Jon Snow's going to make it, but it's not to the next episode when he comes out of the water and makes it. And that would have worked better, and it would have been a better season. But this short season, I mean, at least the good news is that they're doing 90-minute, I think, episodes.
All extended.
All extended. They're all like mini films. So at least give us that. But still, even if they're 2 hours long, we're still used to multiple episode arcs. And I think that's, they crammed it, and then their excuse is budget.
I love the episode. I
it is.
It was a great episode. I wanted an episode like that.
You wanted more.
If you criticize it, and that's what I do.
That would be your criticism.
I break these things apart.
That would be your critique on it.
And like, I would have done it way better than that, right?
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying.
You guys caught the on that episode, the eye on the sword?
I heard about that.
Go on YouTube and watch it. The long claw, it's closed, and it literally, when they zoom in on, it opens, and then Jon Snow's hand comes out of the water. And they
That's
show that, and again, HBO doesn't do things for no reason.
Well, they said it could have just been a shadow. But if you're into this stuff,
Yeah.
intelligent weapons are part of fantasy.
Yeah.
You know, whether they have a soul in it or
it would be smart of them to do it.
Yeah.
They're part of that, you know.
Yeah, I think they'll get into it. And here's the only issue when you're talking about Arya killing the mountain. It might not be because that's another theory, is that actually Arya will be the one to kill the White King, the Night King, the Night King, because the dagger, the dagger is a same thing. It's Valyrian steel. It's also a exactly. It's an artifact. Yeah, it's
Valyrian steel.
the blade part is Valyrian steel, but then the handle is also something like dragon glass or something. Like it's all perfectly made. Yeah, but I mean he dead. But I'm saying like the only thing is if Arya's gonna be if Arya ends up helping the Hound kill the Mountain, I don't think they'll have her kill. Like I don't think they'll give her 2 big kills. Yeah, but
if she's going to the south
and the Mountain,
down to the south, then she'd be part of that southern story arc.
It all depends on whatever direction she goes in will
I think she's gonna go
tell us
Cersei,
what her
man.
big kill's
She's
gonna be.
Straight to Cersei.
Oh yeah, I hope she kills Cersei.
She's got a check mark.
Yeah.
She kills. Oh damn, that would be good. Isn't Jaime on her list too? Is Jaime on her list?
She could kill Jaime, use his face.
Jaime Lannister's on her list. So that would be a mind-blowing ending. Jaime Lannister kills Cersei, takes off the face, and it's Arya.
Sorry.
Which means she killed him.
Right.
No, what?
Technically.
Not be surprised.
Yeah, they can't take the face unless they killed him.
Right, you can't take the face.
And then he died.
Yeah, and I think that's more.
I think more likely is where they go.
That's probably what's gonna happen.
I feel like Arya's to the south.
Yeah, because they hinted it way too much this season.
Yeah.
But
I think Jaime's heading
at the end of the season,
north because he's gonna be the general. Yeah.
He's going to Winterfell.
Yeah, he's going to Winterfell to help them. So,
Yeah.
well, and to warn them because now he knows of the other army, the Golden Army that they paid for. Because who's the motley crew, the rock star of Westeros, which is Greyjoy, Euron. Dude, that guy is the rock star of Westeros. He is the Ragnar Lothbrok of Westeros.
Yeah.
The guy's a madman. I actually like that guy. The uncle, the one with the big ships.
He took a fucking
And it made sense because it was kind of a character flaw. He's like, I've never seen anything that scary. I'm fucking out.
Yeah,
I'm done with this.
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
like,
like
peace out.
It's like this son of a bitch went to go get an army, and it shows how conniving Cersei is because their plan worked in the sense that like, hey, to everyone else it did.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look, these things freaking exist. Good luck. And she just uses an excuse like, I don't give a shit. Like she does not care. She's just like, oh, she's like the Joker of Westeros. Like just watch the world burn, man.
Well, she's already lost her kids, so she doesn't really care about anything.
Exactly.
She has nothing. Yeah.
It's crazy. Well, actually, we can start wrapping this up. Nerdcessity?
Not it.
Nerdcessity?
I don't have a necessity, but fucking SuperCon, man. Huh? Yeah.
It was just packed, man. We got like 100 people in this room.
Oh, yeah.
They
give us the best time.
They gave us the best times, the best rooms.
We got
Best fans, baby.
Best fans, for sure, best fans.
Best fans.
Yeah, so I guess no necessity for a change.
You've done Vikings before?
Vikings good. Actually, I don't think we've got Vikings.
What's
fan out
the
there? It's a
pirate
great
one?
series.
No.
Black Sails. Black Sails is awesome, man.
You've done that one already?
Yeah.
Have you done Black Sails?
I have. We did Future Man, and none of them have seen Future Man either.
Is there any other Game of Thrones?
I'll try one that we need to watch. Game of Thrones ish. Actually, let's get one from the audience.
Oh,
yes,
there you go.
just finished it. You know what? That's a good necessity. Did you watch it?
No, I did not.
Okay, you gotta get on
There's
it.
one character I really like because
I
she's
just
just
finished
crazy.
it.
Like she's just insane. Like obsessed.
Yes.
I didn't want to spoil it, but
a little bit of a spoiler there. Just to close out, what I will say about Altered Carbon is that worst case scenario, if it doesn't get another season, it ends well.
Yeah,
it ends well.
Very well. Yeah.
Best case scenario, gets another season. They do have a whole nother aspect they can go into now that we don't get. Exactly. So it works well to give it the time, watch it. If by the third, if you're starting to get not too into it, just rough it to the third episode. Because from the third episode on, you're just hooked, and it really pulls you in. Because it took me a while to get going on it. But it's worth
Altered Carbon, that's the one
Altered
with
Carbon.
Altered
Carbon. Yeah.
That's the guy from RoboCop.
Yes.
Right?
RoboCop.
Yeah. The most recent RoboCop, because aren't they about to do another RoboCop
remake? Is it a remake or is it a
It's another reboot.
No, it's another
reboot.
They're not gonna have the same guy.
I actually liked it.
I liked it because
I'm glad it wasn't. They weren't trying to copy it straight. Yeah, they changed
That's
it.
why I liked it.
So
they didn't try.
Right, they tried to do something different with it.
But the first RoboCop was fucking fire.
Yes.
Bitches.
And there was no.
They should at least had that. They should at least have bitches leave.
Are you kidding me?
So we're leaving on bitches leave. Omega. It's Omega. Peace.
MSK. Peace out.
And yo, peace. Dietus.
And there you have it, folks. This has been Fanatically Correct. Until next time, you crazy kids. Signing off.